somebody's mic disturbing. Please check. Okay.
Can I start?
Pratisha, it's your system which is creating a noise.
Good evening, everyone. I am Pritisha Padgiri, a PhD research scholar from College of Postgraduate Studies in Agricultural Sciences, Umia, Meghalaya, India. And today I take the opportunity to introduce Dr. Sanjay-Swami. Dr. Sanjay-Swami is a professor in soil science and agricultural chemistry at School of Natural Resource Management, College of Postgraduate Studies in Agricultural Sciences, Apatani, Meghalaya, under Central Agricultural University, Imphal. Apart from teaching postgraduate students, he is an active researcher in the field of conservation and management of natural resources, especially soil and water conservation in the Indian Himalayan region. He holds the prestigious position of National Fellow of the Soil Conservation Society of India and actively serving as the chairman of Conservation Society of India as Meghalaya State chapter. He is the fellow of Himalayan University Consortium, ICIMOD Kathmandu. He is also the senior global fellow of the Grassroots Institutes. So this was his brief introduction. Now I request Dr. Sanjay-Swami to please take over. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pritisha, for introducing me. And at the outset, let me thank the organizers, especially Dr. Hasrat, for providing me this opportunity to just share few of my experiences, or you can say the nature-based solutions which are prevailing in our region. So, as you know, friends, that I am just discussing today on some of the nature-based solutions which are very much sustainable and resilient in climate change. And these solutions are particularly very much prevalent in the hilly region of this area. So let me share my slides first. Yeah, can you see the slides now? Dr. Hasrat?
Yes, it's working. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So friends, let me just create some background that in the initial period when we got freedom, at that time we were producing very less, and of course the agricultural system was traditional in way, but definitely it was sustainable with the very less production potential. And you know that was the need of whole globe, and as well as our country, that we have to feed the growing population. And looking at that reason, we started working on the high yielding varieties, and definitely we come up with the short duration high yielding varieties. And because you know that high yielding varieties, they are producing more, that means they are exhausting the soil, they need more nutrients from the soil. And for that purpose, the fertilizer industry has come up. Along with fertilizer industry, because not only the nutrients are required, definitely the irrigation or moisture is also required to produce better yield. So the irrigation industry also come up. But what we did, we forget the organic material totally. We started using only and only inorganic fertilizers. And you know that the inorganic fertilizer, a single grain of inorganic fertilizer, that is not having any organic material. And after some year, after this green revolution, now we are realizing that we did a mistake. We have exploited our resources. We have exploited soil. We have exploited water, and everything now it is, you can say, polluted or degraded. So this because we are facing the problem now, then we are thinking in other way, and we are finding the new ways. Then again, you see the global demand of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassic fertilizer. It is the data is from 2015 to 2020. Uh, you see that 1.5%, 2.2%, and 2.4%. This NPK demand is increasing every year. Likewise, if you see the use of pesticide, it is also means estimated to increase by 3.5 million tons, and 52% of the global agricultural lands are degraded. These are the data from FAO. Likewise, if you see the our country scenario, almost 97.85 million hectares of land are degraded during this last 15 years. That may be from soil or water agents. Likewise, the organic carbon content, that is continuously decreasing. As I told, the reason that we forgot to add the soil organic material, and it has drastically come down from 1% to 0.3%. Even in some areas it is only 0.2%, 0.1%. Likewise, if you see the data of USA, almost the 11% greenhouse gas emission is coming from the agriculture sector. And friends, we are living in the hilly area. This is particularly a very nature loving area, very natural areas, very ecological best situation. And still we are facing the loss of biodiversity in various ways. And you know that despite of all these factors, still we have to increase the food production by 50% to feed the growing population, which we are expecting by 2050. Again, simply just I want to highlight that we are the consumer, you can say the higher consumer of the fertilizers. You can see the statistics that China is the largest consumer of the fertilizers, whereas we rank second. Then again, if you see the demand of NPK, it is continuously increasing in every decade, every year. You can see the data from 2016, 17, 18, up to 2022. It is continuously increasing every year. That means we are using fertilizer more and more. Then, yes, coming to the various challenges that we are facing today, friends, the factor productivity is declining. Whatever input we are using, we are not getting the response what we are getting earlier. Likewise, earlier we are facing the deficiency of maybe nitrogen, then phosphorus, and then coming to the iron, sulfur. Now you can see that we are facing the deficiency of different micronutrient and of course multiple nutrient deficiencies. Then we have degraded our soil resources because of these intensive agriculture practices, intensive tillage, and of course, as I told that because of this inorganic fertilizer use, heavy use of inorganic fertilizer and no use of organic material, the organic carbon content is drastically decreased. Then again, because we have adopted a very peculiar system of rice wheat, and this monocropping, it is also contributing to the a particular species or pest buildup. Then yes, of course, farm productivity is decreasing, uh, and this nutritional insecurity, because we forget all the small millets and the variety of crops which we are earlier producing. So the nutritional insecurity is also one of the big challenge that we are facing. And in the same way, we are facing the loss of this biodiversity. And of course, there are so many environmental problems like greenhouse gas emission, then increase in temperature, all those factors, all those you can say the problems, I think you are aware of. So what will be the solution for all these problems? And what I think that which we are dealing today, the solutions which are based on the natural, that are the solutions for these problems. So coming to the this nature-based solutions, friends, going ahead, first we have to have a look on the solutions, that what are these nature-based solutions. In real sense, this is a you can say the new term, but in earlier times, what we call as indigenous knowledge or indigenous system, or somewhat later on we started calling as conservation agriculture, climate smart agriculture. So all these practices we can put under a umbrella term that we call as nature based solutions. Okay, so the practices which are just you can say the protecting the nature, and here we are emphasizing the challenge which today's society are facing, how we can address these challenges in a smarter way. So friends, in a very nutshell, we can say that these nature-based solutions are the actions to address the societal challenge which we are facing today by protecting, sustainably managing, and restoring the ecosystem that benefit both biodiversity as well as human well-being. Here I would just like to highlight that everything we human being, we are thinking for we people only. We forget about the other creatures, other living organism on this planet, and that's why the so many so-called problems we are facing. So we have to this you can say that every creature on this planet, they have the right to live in a synergy, and we must have that synergy to means to live all those organisms. So here the main emphasis is that we have to address our societal challenge, that may be the food, that may be the fodder, that may be the fiber, that may be the water resources, that may be the climate, everything what we want to solve the problems of our society, that should be based on the human well-being along with the other living organism on this planet. Now these nature-based solutions, yes, these are you can say the have prime potential to help the global challenge. It has the potential to address the climate change issues, then economic and social development issues, then human health issues, food and water security issues, disaster risk resolution, reduction, ecosystem degradation, and biodiversity loss. Friends, all these nature-based solutions have their existence in every type of agroecological systems, every nature the system, natural systems. Whether it may be the coastal ecosystem, whether it may be the forest ecosystem, whether it may be the wetland ecosystem, whether it may be the river or flowing system, whether it may be the agroforestry system, all those systems have some kind of nature-based solutions which we have to just adopt. Now here I have just highlighted some of the nature-based activities. What activities we can consider as nature-based activity, and what benefit we can drive, what functions they are contributing, and the quantitative benefits which we can drive. So here this first example is of biochar. You know that biochar we are producing from just pyrolysis of the different organic materials, and it is a stable form of you can say the carbon.
Dr. Sanjay, you are here. Hello. Hello, Dr. Sanjay.
They are not allowing to share countries.
Dr. Sanjay, you can start again, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Your sound had gone long ago.
Oh,
And,
but I
and
realized just now.
no, I think your 3 slides have gone without sound.
Okay. I will repeat.
Yeah, I think you were here on the FAO slide, the next one.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, but yeah,
This
okay.
one.
No,
Okay,
that next one.
okay.
Yeah, here.
Yes, yeah. So here just I have highlighted some of the nature-based activities which can contribute to the various issues, societal issues which we are facing, maybe the biodiversity loss, or soil, water, and air pollution, then climate change issues, and what we can do, and the benefits has already been quantified by the FAO, that in terms of what quantity we can be benefited. Now coming to the northeast region of India, friends, northeast region is a, you can say, the situated in the northeastern periphery of Indian Union, and here we have 8 states, right from Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Assam. So almost all the 7 states are completely hilly. Only Assam, that is having plain area. Only 2 districts of Assam is of hill region. So most of the states and most of the area is hilly, and the peculiarity is that it is very much socially and culturally diversified region throughout the world, because we in this area you can find almost 200 different type of tribes, they are living all together, and more than 350 different language, different dialects. It looks like that it is the you can say the same type of tribes are living here, but they have quite differentiation in language, in their traditional attaries, and even religion, culture, social practices, everything is different. So it is very much, you can say, the very diversified region. And if you see the agriculture scenario here again, 26.22 million hectare area is contributing to this region, which is almost 8% of this country, whereas agricultural land is only 3.91 million hectare area. And if you see the total cultivated area of the nation, it is only 3.4% which we have. And from this 3.4% nation's cultivable area, we are just, you can say, the producing 2.8% of the total food production. That means if you see same area, we are producing less. That I have to just give the reason that this, just I told that it is a very much tribal region, and the tribal communities, they are practicing the traditional practices which they have devised long back. So still the traditional practices are prevailing here, and this is the main reason to have a low this food production. Then by default we have much area under organic cultivation, and zoom is the, you can say, the major farming practice which still is prevalent in this area. If we have a look on this different type of altitude, then almost 56% area is under low altitude, 33% is mid altitude and 11% area is under high altitude. And as I told that this is totally hilly area. There are different type of problems. The many areas they are even not accessible, very much culturally diversified and very rich in biodiversity. And you can one thing I want to share here, that we have the area of highest world highest rainfall here. So the agriculture in nutshell, we can say it is CDR type, that means that it is complex, diverse and risk prone. Then what type of nature-based solutions which the traditional farmers they have devised and still are using, that I want to just share. Yes, the first and foremost is this zoom or shifting cultivation. Friends, there are so many, you can say, the definitions by which we can understand that what type of cultivation it is. So in general, it is said that any continuing system, agriculture system, where the fields are cleared and then fired, and this crop is taking continuously, that is the, you can say, the zoom cultivation. Or in other words, we can say that if instead of rotation the crops, we are rotating the fields, and we are taking these crops for 1 to 3 years, then we are keeping these lands fallow up to a long period, that may be 20 or 25 years. So, and then again coming to the same reason, that is the basic characteristic of zoom cultivation. Now, in the whole practice, what the farmers did, they did, first of all, they select a site where they want to just go for this zoom cultivation. Then they clear all the area by cutting the trees, shrubs, whatever things are available there. Then after a few days, when these cutted trees and bushes they somewhat dry up, then they burn it. And after burning, definitely they are doing some operation like this preparation of small bunds for this soil erosion control. And then they are just going for sowing of the crops, then harvesting. And this cycle continue up to means 3-4 years. They take the crop and then keep it fallow almost for 20 years. And when they are coming to again this particular piece of land, that period is of 20 to 25 year, and that period is called zoom cycle. Here I have some pictures, just have a look. That this first picture shows that how this hill is completely green. Then they have selected to go for this zoom cultivation on this hill. Then they burn the hillside completely. Then after burning, they are making different type of bunds to reduce the soil loss. This is one of the temporary rest house where they are resting while doing the agricultural activity. Then after field preparation, the sowing was going on. Then in the next picture, they have completed the sowing and the crop is coming. And you see there, every agriculture activity is on community base. Whenever they have to perform any activity, whole community, they do the job. And this is a particularly, you can say, the typical type of zoom, where here you can see the rain-fed upland paddy mixed with some other crops is coming up nicely. Now, what I want to highlight is that this zoom is a very traditional system, and it was very productive and sustainable in earlier days. But now what happens, that because of the increasing population pressure and decreasing the cultivable area, the people they are coming again to the same piece of land with a short period. That I want to just say that the cycle of zoom has reduced. Otherwise, it was very sustainable system. But because of this reduction in zoom cycle, nowadays they are coming to the same piece of land in maybe 4 year, 5 year, or in some areas in even in 3 years. That means that if they are coming to the same site within 3, 4, or 5 years, then definitely this is a very challenging task, because it is just contributing to the more soil erosion, and this burning is creating so many environmental problems. The forest cover is continuously, you can say, the reducing. So all these types of problems we are facing, and this is the major challenge for this zoom cultivation. Otherwise, if we see that this system in the earlier days, it was very sustainable, because there are diversified crops in this system also. And as I told you, that these tribes, they have every agricultural practice just linked with their rituals. So it is not possible to simply ban or just guide the farmers to stop this practice. Yes, definitely there are ways and means to improve this system, and we are trying for that, so that at least we can able to convince the farmers to just adopt the middle way, so that they can continue this practice, but limiting the negative impacts. Yes, here just I want to highlight that if we compare the different type of systems, you can just imagine that how much more the soil loss in ton per hectare per year we are observing in the shift in cultivation. It is the highest among all these systems which we have in our area. Now, this is again a typical zoom system, where we have forest area in the top, or then rice, maize, and some other crops in the zoom land. Now, with the different small interventions, we are trying to improve this zoom, because we want to check the soil erosion, we want to control the environmental pollution, and we want to increase the productivity and fertility of the soils. So because earlier the farmers, they are not using any external you can say the inputs. So now we are advocating them to use farmyard manure, and to use the improved variety of seeds, then even some of the suitable crop establishment techniques, and we are advocating them for just cultivating this broom grass below the forest area, so that we can check the soil erosion. Then here is we have devised two systems. In first system, we have the cereal based systems, where we are advocating the farmers to have different type of recharge pits, so that we can just recharge the water in those pits. And of course, there are different components we are advocating, like this piggery, poultry, so that we can have the organic material, dung, weed, and of course different type of measures like this contour bund, then haze plantation. These measures we are just suggesting the farmers, so that again we can have some improvement in the cultivation, and we can improve the soil fertility and crop productivity. In the second improvement, what we are doing, this is particularly the you can say the fruit based system, where we are advising them to have different crops which are very much suitable for this area, like this pineapple. And of course, for these fruit trees, we are advising them to have the half moon terrace, particularly for Khasi Mandarian, which is very much prominent in this area. Then for other fruit crops like this guava, peach, and contour bunds for checking the soil erosion. All those measures we are just advising them, and we are suggesting a cropping plan, that how they can have continuously different type of crops, so that they can even have the nutritional security also. Here the main thing is that we are advising them to have this legume crops, so that they can nitrogen can be fixed naturally. Then coming to the second system, that is also, you can just this slight modification of this zoom cultivation, because in zoom we have the very much higher rate of soil erosion. So just to check this soil erosion, particularly in Meghalaya, the farmers, they have long back devised one system. In this system, we have a series of raised beds and sunken areas, and these raised beds, they are of you can say 0.1 to 3 meter of height, and almost 0.7 to 1 meter width, and equal area again we are keeping for the sunken area. Then this goes continuously just across the you can say the slope. And what actually here the difference is that in zoom cultivation they are burning the trees, shrubs, and just preparing the field. But here what they are doing, that first they are just collecting the phytomass which is available in and around the field. Then they are just putting this biomass in a specialized manner, and by putting the soil above this soil, this biomass, they are preparing these bones, and after putting some quantity of soil, they are burning this phytomass, this biomass. In that way, this is partial burning, and what I feel that in a one way they are just preparing the biochar. And I told you that this is the hilly region, and because of this hilly region, you know that most of the soils are acidic in this area. So this biochar, that is improving the soil properties, and of course the soil reaction, and improving the productivity. So these are some pictures. You can see that how booms they are preparing, and this is the larger view, last one. You can see that in one picture where we have seen that whole this area was cultivated in zoom, but here there are different booms, raised beds. Then again, coming to one of the very important system of this water harvesting, where they are farmers are utilizing the water in very efficient way. This is prevalent in the Apatani area of this Zero Valley in Arunachal Pradesh. This is Apatani. Apatani is a tribe which are just having this type of system, and it is the UNESCO World Heritage Site, where we have the very high productivity, and you can say the very preservation of this ecology. What they do, that whatever water is available from the hill sources, that water they just collect at the rim of the valley, and all that water coming from the different areas, they just channelize in the valley fields, where let me just show. Yeah, you can see how this valley, they are preparing the very broad terrace, or you can say the beds, and the slope within this valley is may vary from 1 to 8%, and the bund what which they are preparing is very solid, that just stop the water, and flow of water that is maintained by the in between some holes they are made from the bamboo. So this is the system where all of the available water they are just channelizing to the valley fields, and here apart from paddy they are cultivating fish also. So in real sense it is paddy cum fish cultivation. Now this both the yield of paddy as well as this fish it is quite higher, and of course in this table you can see that the influence of the system that is for if we are doing for 3 years in the same plot, then how much this total NPK and organic material and the methane emission rates can be checked. You see the increase in total nitrogen, it is almost 27.9%, increase in total phosphorus 44.3. These are the data after 3 years. Then one very important system is Zabo farming system. It is being practiced in Nagaland by the Naga tribes, and this system is in the Fek district of Nagaland, and this is the multi. I will show the pictures also. So what actually they have, that at the top of the hill they have some reserved forest area, and that forest area is you can say the just work or function as a catchment area for the rainfall or rainwater, and this rainwater that is being stored in the water harvesting pond that is located below this hilltop or this forest area. And before the main water harvesting tank they are having 3, 4 or 5 the siltation tanks, so that the silt which is coming from the top side that can be just stored or checked in the siltation tank, and water harvesting tank get only the pure water. Then again after some time they just empty these siltation tanks, and that silt again is used as a very good soil. Then after this water harvesting tank they are having some animal sets where they are keeping the mithun also, pig also. Then all those water which they just channelize for irrigation purposes coming from this animal shed area. That means all dung, urine, those are mixed with this water, and then this mixed water is going is along the gravity. And here also they are practicing the paddy cum fish cultivation system. At the top you can see the reserved forest that serve as a catchment area for harvesting the rainfall. That they have some water harvesting tank, animal shed. Then coming down to they have paddy fields, and in between they have some fruit or vegetable plantations. So these are the pictures of that particular Kikruma village where we have visited to just examine this whole system, Zabo farming system. You can see that in the top it is the forest area, and the channels which are coming from the catchment area, each channel belongs to a particular farmer, and few farmers they collectively have a water harvesting tank. And it is the duty of the tribal farmers to protect the forest area. No one can even cut a single tree. They are responsible for that, and the whole community, they maintain this very nicely. So every channel that is coming to some water harvesting tank, and here nowadays they are making this pakka type of siltation tank, then water harvesting tank, and uh, uh, this harvested water is being utilized for irrigating the crops when they need the water. Now, what this Zabo actually word that means the impounding of water. Here they keep this water impounding, and in that particular means if sometimes there is less water, or there of scarcity of water, then even this impounding of water area, this Zabo particular this Zabo point, there they have very, and all fish that can just move towards that side. Now then again, one of the very peculiar system in Meghalaya, that we have the bamboo drip irrigation system. Friends, as already I have told that we have the very, you can say the very peculiar system, very hilly areas. Even during the monsoon season, we have full of rainfall, but after November up to you can say March 15, or sometimes up to 30 or 31st March, this is the dry spell. We have the less rain here in this area, and that's why most of the farmers, they are taking a single crop, that may be paddy or maize, but the second crop they are not going for because of the non-availability of the irrigation water. And you see that it is very difficult to bring the water from the distance area of in the hills from there, which is where the source of water is available. Likewise, if we see the ground channeling, it is very difficult because of the hilly area, the undulating topography. It is not practically feasible. And looking at all those situations, the farmers long back, they have devised the bamboo drip irrigation system. Friends, because here bamboo is there in forest area, so there is no cost for the farmers. They are using these bamboos for bringing the water from the where water source is available up to many kilometers, where they are cultivating particularly the plantation crops. You see, this is the water source, and they are bringing water up to the kilometers. Okay, and this system is famous particularly in the Jaintia Hills districts of this Meghalaya. And in earlier days, this system is only means being used for betel vines and black pepper in areca nut or orchard. Particularly, you can say the plantation crops. But as this system started losing its importance, because nowadays you see that we can't irrigate many high value crops with this system. So the system again, we felt that it needs some modification, some revision in the system to increase the water use efficiency. And apart from these plantation crops, we want to irrigate the even high value crops which are cultivating in a scientific manner with a specific plant. For this, again, we have devised or revised this bamboo drip irrigation system. And here just we are advising the farmers to have small water harvesting pond at the top of the hills in the monsoon season, where they can store the water, and this stored water they can utilize in the dry spell period. And of course this water from the water harvesting tank that can move along the gravity in the bamboos. And you see that this system is devised that even the high value crops, or the crops which are scientifically cultivated with the specific distance, can be irrigated. Then again, very peculiar and very important system is Alder based farming system. Again, it is being practiced in the Nagaland. Here, you can say this is a particularly agroforestry based system, where they are having this alder, this Nepalensis, Alder Nepalensis is a good tree. It is very fast growing and having huge biomass. So this biomass is being used to increase the fertility. Then the important thing is that it is the plant which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen, because it have the root nodule and the association of Frankia species. Yes, again, the same things which just I have discussed, that it is very diversified system, and having this sustainable productivity, diverse type of income, because farmers, they are getting fuel, they are also getting the timber, and they are also improving the soil fertility. And because there is a very deep and root system of this plant, this is also used for checking the soil erosion. And of course they are having different crops in between the alder plantation. Yes, this already I have discussed almost all of the things here. Yes, here you can just have a look at how much liter yield we can have with the specified number of plants, because these are the some of the fields where we have this number of plantation, and it is estimated that how much nitrogen we can add through this elder plantation. Yes, again, the effect of different type of agroforestry system has been studied on soil properties. Here there are different type of agroforestry system, that maybe haze based agroforestry system, then guava based agroforestry system. And these systems are compared with their alder based systems. Here this alder based system is performing well, but because other systems, haze based system, guava based system, these systems are not prevailing particularly in this system, because this studies from other region. It is, I think, from China. No, it is from Arunachal Pradesh. So here we are not having in this region, but it is, you can say, the almost comparable with the other systems. Likewise, here this picture shows that how much soil organic carbon we can have, the improvement with this different type of system. Again, here also the alder based system is performing almost comparable with the haze based agroforestry system. Likewise, these three figures, they are showing the microbial biomass, biomass carbon, then microbial biomass nitrogen, then particulate organic carbon. And again, this alder based system is performing somewhere. It is in case of microbial biomass nitrogen, it is very good, and in other parameters it is almost comparable. So these are some of the systems which the northeast region of India, the tribal farmers, they are still practicing. And of course, there may be less productivity, but these are the nature-based solutions where we have the well-being of human, well-being of other, you can say the organism, living organism in the universe or this planet. In general, we can say that these natural solutions, they are very much important in preserving the biodiversity, protecting the food security, and restoring the soil. And these are the very good practices to fight against climate change impacts. So thank you.
This is very nice, Dr. Sanjay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hasrat.
Yes. Okay, now we invite the questions, comments from the audience. Please come one by one. There are few things written in the chat box. Please read one by one.
Chat works possible. Chat works possible.
In the meantime, if anyone is
Yes.
raising some hands,
I think one comment is from your side that what other countries have the shift in cultivation. I feel that many South Asian countries which have the hilly areas like even this Nepal, even this Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, PDR, in some parts of even China, wherever hilly areas we have in South Asia, they have this shift in cultivation practices prevailing in those areas.
no, are you sure? Or you just
Yeah. Yes, I am sure. And Dr. Vista is there from Nepal. He can again give some light on the Nepal, whether they have or not.
No, because I never have read anything about the shifty cultivation from any other country.
Yes, it is having. I have this idea.
Oh no, I mean you have the literature about it.
Yes, definitely. I have the literature, and I think in the last year only, the EC Mode has compiled a very nice booklet on that.
Okay.
I have that booklet also. I can share with you.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Next. And what solutions? My next part is what solutions they have. Those countries have suggested, because because the solutions in India
Yes.
have failed in that.
Yeah, actually, because all these practices, they are very much associated with their socio-cultural life. Every ritual, that may be dance, that may be any type of festival, everything is associated with the Zoom practice. Whether it may be harvest festival, it may be song. So it is very difficult to convince them to just stop this practice. But yes, they are also convincing that because of this reduction in Zoom cycle, it is creating problem. They are also realizing these facts, and whatever improvement we are suggesting, they are also trying to adopt that. And only management, we can say, that have a option. Otherwise, the banning of these practice, like this, just in Haryana and Punjab, we have banned the burning of this crop residue. like that we can't do here in this area.
No, I think the shifting
And
cultivation was banned long ago in India. The
no, 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 no,
shifting
no, no,
cultivation
no.
has reduced drastically. It's only like compared to the
Yes,
previous
yes,
times,
yes.
it is
That,
only 20%.
no, 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 no. That I agree. But you see, that is because of the modernization of everything, right? The lifestyle is changing now. No one is willing to go on the hills. Okay, so there are so many reasons, but it is not banned by the government.
Okay.
Yeah. Then next comment, is there any probability of mechanization in Zoom cultivation? Is fruit tree as cultivated? Yes, mechanization. Just I want the queries of Dr. Vista, that mechanization in hills is a very big issue, and right now we don't have lightweight machinery. Yes, definitely in some areas, farmers they are using power tiller only, but that is also not, I can say that a very well adapted technology. Only few farmers they are having, and of course some farmers they are just hiring or taking help from those farmers. But really this mechanization or the lightweight machinery is the need of our. Then the second part is, if fruit trees are cultivated, yes, definitely we have this system. Here, the Khasi Mandarian, particularly in Meghalaya, is very much we are cultivating in the Zoom areas. Then again, the next part is, if fruit trees are cultivated in the system, can we call it Zoom? Definitely, because it is a type of Zoom, because just now we have discussed this elder based farming system. It is also just like a Zoom. Uh, but yes, really, I have to think and I have to consult literature also, because in Zoom they are clearing all these type of trees. But definitely, if trees are of fruits and of some useful trees, then we can retain. And I have to look at this. The next comment is from Dr. Hasrat, that biosar is typically suggested by light. Okay. Uh, no, 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 no. See, particularly in acidic soils, and where the availability of lime is not so easy, or it is costly affair, farmers are using very much. And I have just told you that this boon cultivation, it is a type of producing biochar just to improve the soil reaction of acidic soil, and it is well documented. Every farmer they are practicing is not directly they are burning the biomass and preparing the biomass in biochar clean, or in any you can say the scientific method, but they are doing it unscientifically, but they are producing the biochar. And that we are scientifically just going to prove that, because we are working on those areas, we are collecting the samples, and now we are developing the soil quality index also. So the practice, I am very much sure that this biochar is responsible for improving the soil acidity, and thereby improving the availability of phosphorus, which is very much a prominent issue in the acidic soils, and thereby they are contributing towards improving the productivity. Then next is, paddy fish system are excellent in rainforest zone like Indonesia. Yes, definitely, because If we are combining two enterprises, they are mutually benefiting, and we are having the mutual benefits. It is dual crop, so definitely we are going to get good income. Then the yield of rice in Zabo system seems too high. It is possible when local renders. The yield of I think that yield is of Apatani system, and definitely they are having high yield, because if you see the fertility and other parameters of the soil, it is quite high. The organic carbon content is more than 3%, and soil pH is too low, extremely acidic, in spite of burning the trees, and why may be the reason for the less soil pH. Yes, because as you see, I told you that we have the world's highest rainfall, and because if this high rainfall, all the cations, they are being solubilized and washed away. That is the main reason that we are having acidic soils in this area. In some areas, we have the very strongly acidic soils. Thus, yes, we have in Nepal too. Yes, definitely, I know that Nepal has many areas under shifting cultivation. Yes, Dr. Hasrat, Dr. Visra had already commented that in Nepal, they also have these shifting cultivation areas. The next interesting lecture. Thank you, Dr. Allah, for your nice comment. Then in India.
Go to the question, please.
No question. I think on simply
There is one
comment
question.
from
There is one question by Muhammad.
Yes, that I am taking. Then Dr. Vista again. In India, it is a common practice. Yes, it is very common practice.
Please go to the question, not to the comments.
Okay, okay. Sir, where are the comments?
Comment by Muhammad.
Yeah.
From Morocco.
Yeah, traditional practice in agriculture need to be valued and revived. How we can integrate new techniques? Yes, Dr. Mohammed, you are very much right that now we are trying that how this traditional wisdom of the tribal farmers we can utilize with the modern scientific knowledge. And what we are doing, we are practicing and we are trying to do three things. First, whatever the traditional wisdom or the practice, particularly in respect to the agriculture practices, we are trying to preserve or conserve that one thing. Then yes, the farmers, they are doing this job since long, but they are not aware about the scientific reason why these practices or a particular aspect is useful what they are doing. So we are scientifically validating all those reasons. Just now I told you that in Boone system they are partially burning the biomass. They are doing this practice, but they are not aware about the biochar and their usage. But now we are doing research on that part, and after that, in every practice or what type of crop or fruits or vegetables or anything else they are producing, we are just trying to convince these farmers to go with the innovative way, that this crop will be very much suitable for this area. They can have this, and we are creating the direct market linkage. You know that we have very much niche crops here in this area. We have one variety of chili, bhoot zolakia, very very pungent. That again, I can say that is very valuable crop, but we have to link the farmers with the industry. Likewise, we have one variety of turmeric here in this region, Lakadang turmeric. Then that variety is having curcumin content is about 7.4%. Nowhere throughout the world you can find the 7.4% curcumin content. And the government of Meghalaya is having one Lakadang mission to promote that particular variety. And during this Corona period, even the export that has been initiated, and I think that some quantity has been already exported to USA and some European countries, and in many parts of even India, they demanded this variety. I have many friends in New Delhi, and they asked me to just provide this as a, you can say, the preventive or boosting the immunity. So definitely, if we just add the value in the produce and we provide the good marketing channel to the farmers, then definitely we have a good score. Then, yes, I think these
Any
are the.
question? Any question? Anyone wants to speak on the camera or the audio, please? Anyone wants to speak? Or can write in the chat box.
Yes, yes, most welcome.
I think Dr. Sanjay, we will discuss a few minutes here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, and maybe we will fight.
Yeah, no issue,
Maybe
no
we will
issue.
fight here, okay?
Yes, see,
Yes, just in
whenever
response to, yes, just response to the question of Mr. Mohammed, that can we combine the technologies and science with the indigenous knowledge of the farmers?
yeah,
So you were responding that, yeah, like conventionally, you are also driving into the market based approach or market oriented or market focused approach of these
yes,
farmers.
yeah,
Um, we globally we have this experience that the markets have failed, especially they have failed the agriculture and the rural systems. We know not only in Asia and other developing countries, but we also see in the most of the developed countries, the agriculture has suffered a lot, especially when we talk about the subsistence agriculture or when we talk about the nutritional security and the food security. So there was an emphasis on the market, and this green revolution phenomena emanated from the US, United States, with the huge funding of the US aid and Ford Foundation kind of the organizations. They have really impacted a lot, and instead of contributing very positively to this sector, they have contributed to the wiping out of a large genetic stock from the farming fields, and also the communities have affected a lot. So there are the very good agricultural economists in India also who are actively working on it, and they have been advocating that largely the Indian policies particularly have failed in the agricultural sector, and they have been raising these things. So when we talk about linking and emphasizing on the industries and high production or monoculture or export orientation, then definitely we forget and we sideline um, the diversity in the fields, in the agriculture and the farmers' cultures, etc. So culture in India, I mean the agriculture in India, like when I was studying in schools. So in our area, there was a popular saying, um, what is your culture? So if somebody asks, what is your culture? So we used to say, our culture is agriculture.
Yes.
Our culture is agriculture. It means the agriculture in the South Asian region or many of the Asian countries, agriculture is actually culture. It is culture, everything associated with the culture, as you have also explained in your lecture. From the Northeast India, it is typically a culture. So, but when the emphasis has gone on to the industrialization and mechanization processes, so it has routinely ignored all these aspects, and we have often seen and observed the losses instead of um, receiving the benefits. Benefits are obviously industrialized benefits, but largely we have been in loss if we just make a cost benefit analysis of whole process. So this is happening since 1960, and we have
Yes.
observed all this in our countries. This has gone into this direction. So I'm not talking about the developed countries where the land holding is very large and the industrialization is inevitable. You cannot cultivate like by the hands. So machinery is very important. But those people are also feeling now of late that even the small scale farming or the family farming concept is very this decade is by FAO is decade this decade is celebrated as the family farming decade. So now the wheel is wheel is moving back almost. So, but by this at this juncture of the I think we have lost our diversities, we have lost our systems, we have lost our soils. Soil biology is most affected during this entire process of the violent agriculture. Agriculture, as the Vandana Shiva says, is the violence of the against the earth, against the soil. So this the outcome is very upsetting, in fact. So thank you. When we, I mean, this is how I have the differences with you when you are um, advocating for the industrialization and the export kind of the
Yes.
things.
Yes. Yes. Uh,
Yes,
let-
and one more thing, I forgot it in my mind. Yes, if it comes into my mind, I will just
yes.
it
Let
slips
me
away. Yeah.
clarify
Just,
something.
just one minute. 1 minute. I
Okay.
remembered it.
Mhm.
Uh, like like you see this whole setup of the agricultural universities, and I'm talking not only about India. I'm talking about large number of the developing countries. I have seen in Africa. I have seen in other Asian countries too. This agricultural universities and agricultural research is only for industries. It was never for the farmers. I can give you the evidences, I can substantiate my statements, and it is true. These all scientists in agricultural universities, they want funding, basically. They want funding for their research, they want funding for their foreign visits, foreign trainings, and that actually comes from the corporates. And those corporates, like very big giant companies who are controlling the seed, who are controlling the fertilizers, who are controlling the genetics and synthetic biology of late. So synthetic biology is playing very dominant role nowadays in entire all these sectors. So they have been controlling, and that's how they have been pumping the money. Not from now, from 1960, I tell you. The Ford Foundation, I know the Ford Foundation, how
Yes.
the Ford Foundation picked up the scientists from the Indian universities in the name of the Green Revolution, and they trained in America, and then those same scientists only advocated for American agriculture, and that's how they have destroyed all the entire beauty of the Indian systems of agriculture. So this is how, and you will be surprised. In 2007, I heard the same story in Finland. Finland is a developed country, you see, and I heard this story that how the Monsanto has entered the parliament of Finland
Yes.
and bribed the parliamentarians in support of their own companies. So these companies actually have bought the parliamentarians, they have bought the politicians. Even today, like the countries like India, the government is not done by the BJP or any other party. Government is actually run by the companies. They have bought it. They have pumped the money into the election campaigns, and now they have been, taking back with all compound interest. So these all systems are working for these companies, and this is happening. I think literally majority of the countries in the world. So this is how the scientists are also working under the same regime. There is no single university in India or South Asian countries which is not working for corporates. Even they have stolen the beautiful genetic resources from the museums and the these gene banks, etc. So this is happening. How I mean, it is very, very upsetting situation. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hasrat, for enlightening with many of the real world facts. But here, again, I would like to supplement in few of the things that I said that we are trying to link the farmer with the industry, right? That does not mean that we are just you see, right now, what is happening that a farmer in Meghalaya is producing pineapple. Loads of pineapple is there, right? But the farmers, they are not able to sell those pineapples at a proper place because of the known linkage with the industry person. Okay. And all those pineapples, after a certain time period, they are just smelling, spoiling alongside the fields. Now you see that every market is full with the Coca-Cola, fruity, small package in 10 rupees. Why we are not able to replace all those fruities or Coca-Cola, that package with the pineapple fruit juice? Likewise, see, the farmers in Meghalaya, they are producing ginger, and the middlemen, they are just entering in the field and they are purchasing at a very low cost. And the same ginger, they are just sending to the Kolkata, and they are getting huge money. And farmer is getting nothing, but he is the putting the real labor. But the middleman is earning almost, you can say, 10 times what the farmers is earning. So that we are just trying to remove the middleman, because if the farmers, they have direct link with the companies, this is our you can say the efforts. And regarding this nutritional security and all those things, you see, in Corona, agriculture was the least affected sector, what I see. In cities, we are not getting during this lockdown period any type of vegetables, any type of fruits. And but the village person, the farmers, everything they are getting at their in household areas, in their you can say the from their neighborhood. And that was the reason that there was mass migration from the big cities towards the villages. And I think and I hope that you have seen that those pictures from India, that even from Delhi, from Mumbai, the people without any vehicle, without any train, without any road means transportation.
Sir, I interrupt. I disagree with your, first of all, the again you are emphasizing and advocating on the industrialization and industries. In fact, the same arguments the
No,
government
then where we
listen,
have to sell the produce? You
no
see
listen
that
where
middleman is how to remove
you
this?
listen, you are not going to remove the middleman at all through the solutions you have been proposing. Just note it down. The same
Yeah,
thing the government has been doing for like 40 years. 40
yeah.
years government is trying the same thing which you are proposing. The
Mhm.
industry, linking with the industry is not a solution at all for removing the middleman. Just note it down. Just, then the same thing the government has been doing. The government is failing only because of the wrong perceptions and wrong approaches. In fact, if you see the example of Himachal Pradesh, India, where apple is grown widely, and
Yeah.
you look into the marketing system, how a cooperative system
Yes,
of
yes.
the
That they are.
farmers has succeeded. Listen to me now.
Yes, Dr.
The
Asrat,
the
they are also
industries
trying that even we
industries
are.
cannot be a solution at all.
See, Himachal example, I know that they are harvesting the apple, packing there, and by roadways buses, they are sending all their produce to the Azadpur Mandi. That I know. And even we are trying here, even pineapple, we have developed a technique to produce pineapple powder, right? But for time, because farmer sometimes they are the small farmer, they need immediate money, right? So whenever they have the produce, they are just trying to sell it out so that they have immediate some money with them. So there are so many options, and we are trying all those options right now. Also, we are trying that farmers can set up small, even packaging and value addition industries at their even in village, so that if they are directly adding, you see, the direct produce which we are producing from the agriculture, that is not giving much benefit. But if they are adding small values on those produce, they can earn a lot. And for that we are trying them. Even they can have small packaging, you can say the industry or established at the village level also, right? And you know that particularly this area we have the diversified system. Every household, uh, I don't want to discuss at this platform also, but this is the situation that northeast region, every component, that may be piggery, that may be poultry, that may be duckery, uh, rabbitry, any type of options you can say we can practice here, because we have the diversified food habits here, and farmers are doing. But we have to select the right component at right place, and we have to add the value to that produce so that they can earn it much more.
Okay. Now we close because these are all economic solutions,
Yes,
and
yes.
yes, we were talking about these scientific things from
Yeah.
the soil science point of view.
Okay.
So I think I lastly recommend that you also read Devinder Sharma. Devinder Sharma is today is the best agricultural economist and agricultural policy activist in, in,
Mhm.
in, in, in India. Okay, you read about him, and you listen to his videos also, his videos and his writings. Okay, he's a
Sure,
fellow of
sure, sure.
Cambridge University, and he's the best economist nowadays in the country. He usually comes on television, and you can please listen to him. Okay,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
dear audience, thank you for your time. Now we should close this session for today.
Yeah,
And
once
thank you,
again,
Sanjay.
my sincere thanks to all the participants who have spared their valuable time to listen me, and it was a very lively interaction. Many things, it is just like two interaction. Many things, even I learned from the discussion. And once again, I would like to thank the Grassroots Institute for initiating this series. Of course, this is second November series, and I hope that it will improve our knowledge and just act as a very good platform to exchange our ideas. So thanks to Dr. Hasrat for providing me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Okay, great. So we are meeting day after tomorrow on 18 again. And yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.